Let's get ready to rumble. Dun 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 dun. Give me some caffeine. Okay. All right, guys. It's time for my full arena card review for the Forge in the Barrens mini-set. Is it just called Wailing Caverns? I think it's called Wailing Caverns. Let's call it Wailing Caverns-ish. And all of our scores are going to be from 1 to 5, with 5 being the best card, okay? 5 being the best. We have adjusted our scale a little bit recently, so a 3 is now a like 3 mana 3/4. So that's kind of the adjustment we made. 3 mana 3/4 is a 3, and that's kind of what you can use to as a baseline. All right, and yeah, we're just gonna go in order here. So I think it's alphabetical order. Yeah, 35 cards, I believe. Yeah. It's going to be a little scuffed. You guys will see why. You guys ready for the scuffness? Actually, this one isn't scuffed. You'll see later. You'll see the scuffness later. All right. Let's get ready to go. Let me remove this. This is not a 5, by the way. It's definitely not a 5. Okay, chat. Starting with Taint Heart Tormentor. This is a Demon Hunter card, an 8 mana 8/8 demon tag with taunt. Your opponent's spells cost 2 more. It's bad. It's not good, chat. It's not good. 8 mana 8/8s currently. I mean, you know, you got like Proto Drake on 8. You have Violet Worm coming back, so it's pretty bad. I do think there's some value in taunt because, you know, Demon Hunter is a class that takes a lot of damage, but I don't think the effect is strong enough at that point in the game to warrant these stats. So I'm gonna say we start this one out with a solid 2. 2. All right. Okay. And now let's see, what's the best way I'm gonna do this? Okay. This is okay. It's only like kind of scuffed. All right, next card is Sigil of Summoning. Sigil of Summoning. I actually forgot to close my fly after going to the bathroom. I know you probably didn't need to know that, but that's why I did this little like back thing, because I forgot. All right, Sigil of Summoning. 2 mana. Again, we're on Demon Hunter. 2 mana. At the start of your next turn, summon 2 2/2 demons with taunt. So I think this card's pretty decent. Like we've seen with the Druid 2 mana 1/2 taunts for 2 being quite good. This gives you more stats, but obviously it's a little bit delayed. So your opponent can, you know, play around it a little bit. But I think overall this is one of the better Sigil cards. Like most of them are pretty garbage in Arena. Would I say it's above average? I feel like this is going to be about an average card. Like maybe I think 3. Is it equivalent to a 3 mana 3/4 though? It's like between a 2.5 and a 3 for me. I think I'm okay with giving it a 3. I think anything higher is probably a little bit optimistic, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. We'll go for a 3. All right. Next card, Fell Rattler. Fell Rattler. 3 mana 3/2. Okay, this I always do this, where before I finish saying what the card is, I get excited. This card is busted. Okay. Fell Rattler. 3 mana, 3/2, rush. Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Guys, was Swipe a good card? So Swipe was pretty good, right? This is like Swipe, but 1 mana cheaper. I think it's pretty damn good. There's not many times that this card won't be at least okay, right? Like it clears just a 3/4 in a trade. Yeah, sure, it can't hit face. That okay, fair. My Swipe argument is a little okay. It's not a Swipe for 3 because it can't go face, but you know what I'm saying. It's very, very good. I'm gonna say this one is A. Are you guys ready for it? The first 4.5. Boom, baby. It's between a 4 and a 4.5 in my opinion. Like it's right on the edge. If I could say 4.25, I would do that. But I think 4.5 is fair. Very, very good. Demon Hunters do have a few other ways to AoE, so that is one thing to keep in mind, but it's just really, really strong. Why can't you do it? Because it would get weird, all right? I'm weird enough as is. Moving on to Druid now. So that was the 3 Demon Hunter cards. Moving on to Druid. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. You guys like that song? Every time I see this card, I'm gonna do it. If it's in the draft, doesn't matter. It's just it's gonna evoke that in me. I can't help it. So Lady Anaconda. This is a legendary Druid card. 6 mana, 3/7. Your nature spells cost 2 less. Unfortunately, despite it evoking that strong emotion with me singing, it's not a very good arena card. I'm sure this card's gonna be busted and constructed because you know it works very well with alignment, and I'm sure you're gonna do nasty things with it there. But in arena, like that's a 2 reduction. Like how many spells are you gonna have? And you have to play a 6 mana 3/7, which is really, really bad. So I don't know. Like what do you guys think? 1.5, 2. I mean, if you can play this and a 2 cost, maybe we give it a, I don't know. I feel like it's a 1.5. All right, we'll go with a 1.5. Boom. All right. Next Druid card. My card, right? Chat alerted me to this, even though I haven't had a card reveal. They've named a few cards after me, so that's kind of cool. Deviate Dreadfang. 8 mana. After you cast a nature spell, summon a 4/2 Viper with Rush. Sorry, I didn't say the stats. 8 mana, 4/9. After you cast a nature spell, summon a 4/2 Viper with Rush. Once again, this is a constructed card, right? Probably another like alignment card. In arena, I think this card's terrible. Like really bad. It's just too expensive. You play 1 spell with it or something. Yeah, I think it's just awful. It's awful. I mean, yeah, if you have cheap spells, a 4/2 rush is good, but it's just too hard to make work. Like, I know there are a lot of cheap Druid spells, but still, you're gonna have to wait till like turn 9 at least, maybe turn 10, and it's just too weak on the board. So I think this card is probably, I think 2 is probably fair, but yeah, it's definitely a weaker card. Are the 0 mana spells like Bog Beam in? I don't remember which. I think, does Bog Beam rotate? Probably not. I think we still have Bog Beam. I don't actually recall. But it doesn't change too much for me. I just don't think there's going to be enough synergy with it. All right. One more. Druid getting all the things. One more Druid card. Fangbound Druid. 3 mana, 4/3. Taunt, Death Rattle, reduce the cost of beast in your hand by 2. So I have noticed that Hired Gun, the old card from Mean Streets, has been, honestly, it's been fine in this meta because it actually trades with Sunwell Initiate, which is a really problematic card. So I don't think the 4/3 stat line is terrible. And Druid does have some pretty good beasts. Like, you you might not draft 4 of them, but you just end up with quite a few of them. So I think it's pretty decent. Would I say it's better than a 3-mana 3/4? Debatable. It's probably between like a 3 and a 3.5. I'm okay with giving it a 3.5 for the you know, the cheese potential. But that's kind of where I would put it. Like somewhere between a 3 and a 3.5. Maybe 3.25, but we'll stick with this, 3.5. All right. Moving on to Hunter. Everyone's favorite class. Smirk. Venom Strike Bow. 4 mana, poisonous. 1 attack, 2 durability. Huh. How good is this card? So it's one of those things where in other classes, this thing would probably be insane. And it still might be insane, but it's like the current version of Hunter that I've been playing in Arena, though, is more like mid-rangey and actually generates some stuff. So I actually think it's not bad, right, for that type of a style. Like, and Hunter normally doesn't or what was I gonna say? Hunter normally doesn't mind taking too much damage in the mid game, right? So that's kind of the thing, right? Like, because if you use this and you kill a minion, and then you have it equipped to kill another thing, I think it's really good, actually. The more I think about it, like having this equipped, it's going to be that really painful feeling if you're playing against it, because they already killed something with it, which is fine, and then you have to try to play around it a bit. So I actually think it's really good. 4.5. I think it might be like a 4.5. I don't know if I want to say a 5, but I'm gonna go with a 4.5. Because one other thing you have to remember, guys, is like I think the meta is going to. This is something we've talked about too much, but the metas I think will speed up even more because we're getting the GVG cards, which is going to make Paladin a lot faster. So I think, you know, this card might be a little bit slow sometimes, and if you're using it to kill tokens and stuff, that's bad, right? So GVG cards, ha 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 ha. I mean, okay. First off, if you don't think that Muster for Battle and Shielded Minibot are still good, then you're smoking that good stuff. You're smoking that good stuff. That good stuff. So before you laugh at those GVG cards, some of them are still really good. So I think 4.5 is fair. It can be very good certain games, and I mean, that's a very high rating. I just don't think it's a 5 for me. All right. Okay. Sindori. Scent Finder. Sindori Scent Finder. 4 mana 1/6. Frenzies summon 4 1/1 hyenas with rush. So this card I'm a little bit unsure about. I even was talking about it in our last arena run. This one I'm like, I don't think it's terrible. Some people were saying they thought it was terrible. I don't think it's terrible because if you drop it on turn 4, 5, it's going to be very difficult to not get the frenzy effect because not many things do 6 damage, right? Obviously, you can trigger yourself if you have an Aug Merchant or, you know, other ping effect and then get the value instantly. That would be the optimal scenario because then the rush actually matters. The problem for me with the card though is that the rush most of the time I don't think will matter because you aren't going to always be able to like trigger it. But I think it's okay. I want to say, is this as good as a 3 mana 3/4? Maybe. Like, I'm gonna go with 3. It might be a little bit on the high side. I think most people if that do arena reviews will rate it a little bit lower, but I actually don't think it's terrible. Those extra pings matter, and it's just, you know, a 4 mana 2/6 feels bad to play, but it can still kind of clean stuff up, right? I'm just comparing it to other minions that have low attack. Obviously, there's 1 attack, but I don't think it's too bad. All right. Guys, is this the cutest card? Chat. Serpent Bloom. 0 mana, give a friendly beast poisonous. It's pretty cute. Until you think about the fact that it's giving something poison to murder another minion in its sleep. Or doesn't even know what's coming. Comes out of stealth and just boom, dead. Alright, how good is this card? I don't know how many beasts we're gonna have. So 0 mana, give a friendly beast poisonous. You know, if it was give a minion poisonous, it would be, you know, 5+++, right? But like how often will you have a beast in arena for it, right? The 1/6 summons 4 beasts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's one card that does have synergy with it, right? Lake Thresher is a beast. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, again, with cards like this, you just have to be careful because obviously there are ways to pop off with it. It's just when you're giving it an overall rating, you have to give it a rating. Just like, you know, what are the chances it's going to work consistently? I'm not convinced it's going to be consistently great. Because if you just, I mean, it's not a good comparison. I was thinking about Toxfin because there's way less Murlocs than there are beasts. How do I give this an overall rating? I want to say it's below average. I want to say it's like a, I want to say it, oh, it does work with Hog Rancher. That's kind of good, actually. That's true. Hog Rancher. Yeah, Wound Prey. I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with 2.5 on this one. And, you know, I'm sure you guys would be like, oh man, I got owned by Serpent Bloom. And you know, the one thing about this card is it means you need to be more afraid of beasts, right? I think like that's probably the biggest take home from this card is it's a little risky to leave beasts up. But yeah, it's probably below average. 2.5 might be a little optimistic, but yeah, I think it's okay. I'll believe. I always like to believe in the dream. Okay, we're done with Hunter. Moving on to Mage now. Oh, Mage. Does anyone get like a warm, fuzzy feeling when you get to Mage? Or is it just me? God, I love Mage. Oh, Mage is so fun. Okay, anyhow. Frostweave Dungeoneer. 3 mana, 2/3. Battlecry, draw a spell. So that always happens. You always get 3 mana, 2/3, draw a spell. Assuming you have a spell in your deck, right? If it's a frost spell, summon 2 1/1 elementals that freeze. So there's a few cards like that. I'll just say that now. They released. I'm just going to close the blinds because I know the glare is going to come soon. They released a few of these cards, and you know, if you think about these cards and compare them to like a venomous scorpion or something, it's like very different, right? Because they're value cards, but they don't trade very well, and the chances that you draw exactly a frost spell, you know, as Mage in Arena is pretty low, I would say. But 3 mana 2/3 get a spell isn't terrible. I mean, there's already the 3/1 that gives you a spell, and I'd say that card is probably better than this, right? You guys know the name of the card I'm talking about? 3/1. I forget the name. I'm not sure if it will still be around. I want to say it will still be around, but yeah, Star Scryer. There we go. Yeah, so it's kind of similar to Star Scryer, but I feel like Star Scryer is a better card than this. Whatever Star Scryer is, I'd say this is a little bit worse. All right, so what am I going to give it? It's not. I don't think it's above average. Compared to Volpera, yeah, kind of. Except Volpera, you discover, which I think might make that even better. But there's less upside with Volpera, right? Because this, you do have the chance to get 2 1/1s. I'm okay with a 3 here, I think. I think 3 is probably all right. You know, it's just, in another meta, this card could be, a few years ago, it'd be a lot higher. But right now, I think you're giving up a little bit too much for for the stats. I guess the thing you do have to think about is you draw it immediately compared to Starscar where we have to play it. That is true. That actually is true. Is it a little bit better than a 3? Because you get a dig with it immediately, right? I don't know. I still think it's kind of like a 3. I think 3 is fine. I'm gonna stick with a 3. All right. What is this? Chat? Shattering Blast. What is this? 3 mana? Destroy all frozen minions? They're gonna try to make Freeze Mage? Is that gonna actually be a thing? I mean, I loved old Freeze Mage, right? Those were good times, but I had Ice Block there and throwing Burn Face. Yeah, this card's like Omega shit, right? Like Omega garbage, like 1, like no question. It's too expensive. It's just too expensive. I mean, sure, you can do Cone of Cold and then like boom or something, right? But like generating it, there could be times where it could be good, but it's too expensive, I think. All right. Wait, another card they named after me, by the way, chat. Flowcaster. Because I always play a caster in WoW, and I got those flows, those sick flows. 2 for dreads. Flowcaster. 6 mana, 5/5. Costs 2 less for each frozen enemy. So if you have 1 frozen enemy, it will be a 4 mana, 5/5. It's way too situational, right? Like, how much freeze do we have? You're not going to draft that other card. If you hit with the 1/1s, right? If you hit on and draw a frost spell, and then you have the 1/1s, then that's a way you could do it. Like, playing a 6 mana 5/5 will just feel terrible. I don't think this card's good. Yeah, sure. There's Ally Flurry. We still have Brain Freeze. Okay. I still think on average it's pretty weak. Like one, because the thing is, playing, this might sound crazy, but playing a 4 mana 5/5 isn't even that insane. We still have a 4 mana 5/7 right now. So I just don't think this card's very good. 1.5 or a 2. Probably a 1.5. I don't think, I don't see it being that great. All right, man, those mage cards were not what I was hoping for. Moving on to Paladin, chat. Moving on to Paladin. Let me make sure I remember to drink water. Drink water. Party Up. 7 mana. Summon 5 2/2 adventurers with random bonus effects. So we can, I think they have them down here. Yeah, the full list of adventurers. Okay, chat. So this is the first time we've talked about these adventurers. They're a new mechanic that is coming in the mini set. And they're kind of similar to lackeys. I would say in general, they're weaker than lackeys because they don't have as much high roll potential. But yeah, they're like a new type of lackey-esque type of thing. Excuse me. Yeah, I know there's 2 more. I know. So we can just look at the random effects you can get. So spell damage, taunt, poisonous, divine shield, wind fury, stealth, rush, and lifesteal. So the thing about these is there's a couple omega high rolls. So poison is going to be really, really annoying. Some might say toxic when you rip it. You know, you play this and you get 2 of them poison, oof. And I think divine shield is also a very big high roll. You know, a mini bot type thing, right? So I think all the rest, like rush could be good in the right spot. Lifesteal, unlikely. Stealth isn't bad. Wind fury, taunt, spell damage, So I think like poison, divine shield, and maybe rush are like the big ones. So how good is this card? 7 mana, you get 5 2/2s. It's kind of expensive, isn't it? I don't know. I obviously if you hit, it's great. But if you don't hit poison on one of them, I don't know. I feel like it's not great. Yeah, so sure, like if it was a Druid card, maybe it's a different story, right? 5 mana for 3/2/2s was kind of okay. Yeah, it's okay. But 2 more mana is a big difference, right? I don't, your Paladin generally is mistake. Sure, right? I just think it's a little bit too expensive to be insane. It's not bad, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's... I just think it's a little bit worse than you guys think. This card review has made me realize Dreads can't evaluate cards. Oh, really? Okay, well, we'll see the Only Bad Puns review on YouTube soon, and then we can all bow down to you, Arena Overlord. Okay. Yeah, so again, anyways, I don't want to get too off track here, but I think Party Up is good, just not great. Like, for me, it's maybe like a 3.5, I want to say. I think it's between like a 3.5 or a 4. Somewhere in that range. I don't think it's higher than that. What do you guys think, chat? Chat vote, 3.5 or 4. This is an interactive review. Which one? What do you guys think? Wait, some people are saying 5s. You guys are insane. You guys are absolutely insane. A 7 mana Paladin card. I don't think people realize that, like, if you play this, you might just die the next turn if you don't hit like Rush or something. I like... They say there's no way this is a 5. 0% chance it's a 5. Okay? All right, you guys like 4? Okay, I'm seeing more 4s. We'll go with a 4. Deal. 4. 4 it is. But yeah, I think you guys are overrated. You know what's interesting? A lot of these cards, there's a lot of different opinions in chat. I think that's cool because then we'll see, who's right, who's wrong, and how it shakes out. It's cool. It's nice when the cards aren't real obvious, where it's like, oh yeah, that's clearly insane. Speaking of, all right, Sea Cloud Buckler, 3 mana, 2/3 weapon. Death Rattle, give your minions Divine Shield. So, it's funny, when I was browsing the cards at first, I thought this was a minion. I somehow didn't notice the border or whatever, and I was like, that's kind of weird. You have to play a 3 mana 2/3, and then it dies, and you get Divine Shield. Like, how the hell is that going to work? But as a weapon, it's pretty damn good. So if you play it on 3, you'll almost want to have the effect sooner. I think like the 3 charges might be a little bit of a bad thing sometimes, but. Generally, I'd say with Paladin, you have something on your board, or if you're in an okay spot, and so even though it's only 2 attack, I think it will let you like trade into something, and eventually, you should be able to get a pretty good swing with it, right? Or you equip it on turn 4, you swing on turn 5 and 6, and then you play Party Up on turn 7. And you give all of them Divine Shield. Dreads was wrong. Party Up's insane. But again, I think it's really good. I'm gonna go. It's between like a 4.5 and a 5 for me. I think the attack is a little bit low, so I'm gonna go with a 4.5. But it's very good. It's a very good card. Very, very good. All right. What else we got? Judgment of Justice. 1 mana. When an enemy secret. Oh no, more secrets. Can we just make an agreement to stop printing secrets? Who's with me? Who loves secrets? Is anyone like, oh, this is so fun when I play my secret. Oh, it's so fun when I don't know what they're 8. They have like 7 different secrets it could be. Good luck playing around all of them. Grab the torches with me. Get rid of these secrets. I was okay when there was like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 for each class, but now when you're playing against a Paladin or a Mage, the little Hearthstone deck tracker secret thing is like this long, and you're like, well, good luck. I don't know. Okay. Judgment of Justice. Again, I did the thing where I don't say what the card is again. Judgment of Justice. Secret. Paladin secret. When an enemy minion attacks, set its attack and health to 1. Wait, when it attacks? So that means if you attack with like an 8/8, before it even hits, it becomes a 1/1, right? Dude, why do they keep making the secrets so good? Can't they just make them kind of bad? Really bad early game, an opponent can play around it easily? I mean, you say that, but... So here's the problem, right? The opponent can play around it easily. There's still so many secrets, so it's like... I mean, you're gonna have to test for other things, and it can be awkward for the other secrets, so... Its pure existence pisses me off. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good. I think it gets aided by the fact that there are so many secrets right now. So I think it's decent. I still don't know. The funny thing about secrets is I'll rate this card pretty good, and then I won't draft it myself all that much because I don't value secrets probably as much as I should. But I think this card is pretty decent. It's cheap. Can help you win the board. So 3.5. I'll go with a 3.5. It's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. For sure. For 1 mana, this kind of effect. Like, there's value in people having to play around it too, right? I think it's definitely not bad. All right. Moving on to Priest. On to Priest. Against all odds. 5 mana holy spell. Destroy all odd attack minions. Am I understanding this correctly? Does this mean it destroys them like in both people's decks and in their hands too? Like, it says all in all caps. Is that what it means? That's what I was thinking. No? Oh, it's just the board. Oh, okay. Well, then why is the all in like full caps, like focus on this all? Normally when they do that, it's like everything dies, die. Okay. So yeah. So it can hit your board or their board. Okay. All right. So how good is it? It's still removal. It's still big removal. I think it's good, right? Does anyone know the breakdown of minions between even and odd? This has got to be trash. Is it though? Light Bomb and Screamback. Yeah, there's a ton of priest removal for sure, right? And I would say that like Scream's way better than this. Light Bomb is probably better than this too. So, but you still don't really pass big removal. I don't know. Combos with Wave. Yeah, sure. Like there's combos, but that's hard to pull off in Arena, right? I think I'm gonna go with a 3. That's what my gut is telling me. It's like a 3 or a 3.5. It's a little weird because it can hit your minions, so it's just like you kind of have to be in a behind, but yeah, it is a little weird. I'm gonna go with 3. Seems okay. It's funny though. I don't know why it's the alls and like in caps. It's just funny. All right, Devout Dungeoneer. Another priest card. 3 mana 2/3. Battle Cry. Draw a spell. If it's a holy spell, reduce its cost by 2. I feel like this card is better than the Mage card. Because okay, it's either holy or shadow, right? And getting a 2 cost reduction on spells in Priest, like a Holy Nova or whatever, is pretty nutty. I don't know. I think it's better than the other one. Is it a 4? I want to say it's like pretty damn good for Priest, because it just kind of fits what I want to do with Priest. You know, like you have comeback mechanisms, and you want to play something on the board early so that you don't completely fall behind, but this generates value. It's kind of the reason I like Loot Hoarder and Priest quite a bit. So I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna go with a 4. 4 seems okay. Probably one of the better of these type of cards, right? Is the last card holy? I think it is. We'll see right now. You can see right now. I think it is. Yep. Okay, Cleric. I'm sure I'm going to butcher this one. Cleric of Onchi. Is that right, chat? Cleric of Onchi. 1 mana. 1 mana, 1/2. Battle Cry. If you've restored health this turn, discover a spell from your deck. I like it. I like it a lot. So, you know, you obviously, like, you don't want to play this card on turn 3, right? As like a heal face and do it. That's like, basically you want to use it when you can like heal a minion and then have a little bit of mana over, you know, left over to drop it. That's like the ideal situation, right? Like, because it's restored health. It's not restored health to your hero, right? That's a big distinction. If it was restore health to your hero, it's a lot worse. So what do we think? I don't know if it's a 4.5. It's between like a 4 and a 4.5 for me. I'm trying to think about the other cards that discover from your deck that we've had. Like we had the 2 mana card Shadow Visions. Is this better or worse than Shadow Visions? Cleric of Scales. Worse? Better? I don't think it's better. That's discover a copy? Oh yeah, wait, so this is just this is not discover a copy. Oh. This is you just get it. Oh, that definitely makes it worse. For some reason in my head I was thinking copy. Oh, yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it a bit worse then. 3.5 then maybe? I was gonna say a 4, but maybe it's like a 3.5. Because it can get a little weird if you draw it late, you know, and then... I'm gonna go with 3.5 now. Change my mind. Boom. 3.5. Okay, what's next? We move on now to Rogue. On to Rogue. More coffee? Shroud of Concealment. 3 mana. Shadow spell. Draw 2 minions. Any played this turn gains stealth for 1 turn. Call Arcane Intellect. It's crying. Arcane Intellect with just like straight upside. I think it's pretty good. I have been finding in Arena that I kind of run out of a draw sometimes with Rogue. Like unless you hit Swindles or I don't know, a bunch of like Discover stuff, I do kind of run out of cards. So I do like it. I tend to have mana free at a time to use this. So I think it's pretty good. Oh, it's only minions. Draw 2 minions. That makes it a little... Wait, do you guys think that makes it better or worse? So it's better in the case that you have mana to play it for stealth. But it's worse in that you can't find answers, right? I think it actually makes it worse. Yeah, Minstrel's back, so you will have a little more draw. That is true. That's true. I want to say it's a little bit above average. I'll go with 3.5. Because what I can see that with this card is sometimes when I play Rogue, I'm fairly aggressive, and so if you play this later on, the stealth could really matter. If you play it at 8 or 9 mana, and then you can actually slam the minions down and they can't interact with it. I think it is relevant. So, does it stealth the minions already play? Wait, draw 2 minions. Any played this turn gains stealth for 1 turn. No, I think it has to be the cards they draw, right, chat? Just double checking. Because it's not real clear. Draw 2 minions, period. Any played this turn gains stealth for 1 turn. Do we know? Have they said? I don't like it's not clear from this. It's only drawn. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I think 3.5 is fine. Okay. Alrighty. What else we got? Okay. Savory Deviate Delight. What the hell is this thing? 1 mana. Transform a minion in both players' hands into a pirate or stealth minion. I know the memers out there want to love this card, but I'm going to tell you it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Meme value, it's 69 on a scale of 1 to 69, but in like actual usefulness, it's a 1. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, you could have a situation where you have no minions and you play it and then they have 1 minion and boom, you hit their Proto Drake. Sure, right? There's a way, but yeah, it's in general not very good. Okay. All right. But this card is very good. Water Moccasin. 3 mana, 2/5 beast tag. Stealth. So it always has stealth. Has poisonous while you have no other minions. Really good, I think. Because we're talking about arena, and oftentimes on turn 3, it's the only minion you'll have. Or if you have other minions, you can probably trade them into something first. It does pretty well against Sunwell Initiate. In the late game, it could get a bit awkward, right? It could definitely get a little bit awkward if you have a full board, but even then, it's a 2/5 stealth, which isn't terrible. Like on this, gives it a lot more value because they can't interact with it immediately. So it's definitely above average. Let's see, 4. Like, I don't know if it's quite a 4.5. It's between a 4 and a 4.5 for sure. It's not a 5. A 5 would be probably like Scorpid, right? Because then, it's a little worse stats, but you get to discover with it. So, I'm gonna go with a. I think I'm gonna go with a 4 or 4.5. Should we believe? You can dagger into it. Okay, we'll go 4.5. We'll go on the high side here. But yeah, it's in that range. It's very good. But when I saw this card, I was instantly like, sweet. It's a nice rogue card. All right. Moving on to Shaman. Primal Dungeoneer. 3 mana, 2/3. Battlecry, draw a spell. If it's a nature spell, also draw an elemental. So another one of these cards we've seen before, right? Or kind of similar effect, right? Aren't the vast majority of Shaman spells nature spells? Like, are there, like, what else can you get? Are they all nature spells? Because that changes things a bit. Most of them. Fire, not all. So there are some fire spells. What's a fire spell currently? Like, Lava Burst isn't in right now, right? Like, I don't... Just what's an example of a current, like in the meta fire spell? Is Molten Blast one? Fireball, yes. For Shaman, you idiot! Molten is fire, yes. Okay. Anyhow, so getting back on track, I think it's actually quite good because most of the time we're getting another elemental, and I feel like most of the time when I draft Shaman, I have at least a couple elementals. So, draw a spell and an elemental is pretty damn good. Obviously, things like amalgam counts on the 4-drop. So this card seems quite good, and yeah, Shamans are a class that kind of struggle for good card draw. So I think it's very good. Very good. Do we go? I don't know if I go. It's between a 4 and a 4.5 for me. 2/3 draw. Let's say it is draw a spell and a minion. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. It's a lot of value. It's between a 4 and a 4.5. Shamans have a lot of ways to come back a bit too, right? Like, you can play a card and fall behind if you have Dunk Tank or Lightning Storm or whatever. Should we go big? I'm going big again, baby. I'm going big. 4.5. Let's go. Dreads Reviews goes high to the sky. Grab a chicken thigh for lunch if you're feeling good. Maybe take it out of the wood shed. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have done that. This is going on YouTube, and now everyone's going to be like, what the hell? This dude's super cringe. Mistakes were made. All right, Perpetual Flame. Perpetual Flame. Next Shaman card. 1 mana, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. If it dies, recast this. Overload 1. So, and we have confirmation with this card that every time it kills, you get overloaded again. So if you kill 3 minions, you're overloaded for 3. Oh, wait, this is a fire spell. Oh my, they had to show me up, aren't they? Oh, nature spells, literally the next one, boom, fire spell. Do you guys think it's really bad? I actually don't think it's bad. I don't think it's really bad. I mean, it's not as good as Storm Strike, right? Like, Storm Strike is like the premium, like, early game removal spell. 3 mana, kill 2 things. You do have to take some face damage. The thing about this is it's random. That is kind of an issue. It's not targeted. Card is bonkers. I mean, I think it's some people are saying it's bad. I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's just a matter of figuring out how much of a penalty is it that it's random, and how much of a penalty is it that you get overloaded multiple times. I don't think that the multiple overload matters that much, because if you're killing multiple, how many times can I say multiple? If you're killing several things with this, you're going to get ahead, right? So I think it's pretty damn good, and it's amazingly flexible, right? Like you can play it just as a lightning bolt. You can play it in the late game for like a big board clear. Like it's cards like this where they're good in a lot of different situations tend to be very good in arena. So I'm gonna go on the high side on this one. I don't think it's a 5, but I want to say it's like a 4. I'm gonna go with a 4. I think so. If it was targeted, I think it might even be a 5. But I think it's a 4. It's way too easy to play around. No. So this card's not easy to play around because, okay, yeah, just don't have your minions have 3 health. Okay, well then why do you lose the Cycle of Hatred? Just play around it. Just don't let them have 3 health. Why are you losing to that card? What's wrong? So yeah. Anyways, it's good. I think 4 is I think 4 is appropriate. All right. What's next? Wailing Vapor. 1 mana, 1/3 elemental. After you play an elemental, gain +1 attack. Guys, is this gonna? Because I do enjoy elementals a lot. Am I going to be able to play elemental, shaman, and constructed? Yes or no? And then like smork people. Can I do that? It's going to be a thing. Yeah. It's good in Arena 2. Yeah, it's good. It's definitely a good card. It's definitely a very good card. It's a 1 mana 1/3 with upside, right? Do we still, so the 2/2 is core, correct? Menacing Nimbus, that's a core card, right? That's the first one that comes to mind. What are the other elementals that are common right now? The 4-drop, right? The Amalgam. That 3/4, the one that discovers a spell if you played a spell last turn, I think that's an elemental too, that the 3/4 card. Obviously like Fire Rally and stuff, but I'm thinking more like early game cards, right? Oh, the 2/2 that draws a weapon? Yeah. The 3/4 that buffs, Unbound 2? Yeah, Marshspawn, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so there's quite a few. I mean, in Arena, you can't reliably curve this into like 2 more Ellies, but I still think it's good. It's not a 5, I don't think. It's between like a 4 and a 4.5 again for me. I mean, how often are you going to have those Ellies in hand at the time? I think I want to go with like a 4 here. I think 4 is fair. Yeah. Yep. All right, Wailing Vapor. Moving on. Next. Moving on to Warlock. Not my favorite class to play, chat, but you know, if there's fun cards, I'll play a little bit. Stealer of Souls. 4 mana 2/6. After you draw a card, change its cost to health instead of mana. So this card's kind of scary to me. Because, you know, the first card that comes to mind for this is Blood of Goon. But that card, Goon, whatever, you know the one I'm talking about. It's an 8-drop, right? So that's a long time. You know, that creates a big swing, but it's later in the game. This, you can create a swing. You can either drop it on 4 and then wait for your next draw, or you can drop it on turn 6 and just play it and tap immediately. So I think this card is pretty damn good. There is a downside with it, right? But I think most of the time it's going to be pretty nutty. So yeah, I like it's got huge cheese potential. Like if you play this, you know, and you know, so one card that we have coming back too is we got that 2/1 coming back. The 2/1 that you take 2 and draw cards. You can play this on like turn 5, you know, and then you get like a 7-drop and you're happy to take 7 mana, right? So yeah, that's another card, something I want to mention about it too. Spellstone is coming back, and I think, so again, we're not reviewing the old cards coming back in this video, but I think Spellstone is going to be a lot better. Like, it's going to be very good in this meta, because you have this card, there's another card you'll see that's good with it, so I think Spellstone's going to be great in this meta. I want to say this card, honestly, in Arena might be a 5. It really might be. It's for me, it's between a 4.5 and a 5, because ways to cheese out games are very, very valuable. And even if it doesn't trade well on the board, it's going to be really hard to kill it on turn 4. So I actually think it's a 5. And I was saying earlier, I think all the Warlock cards are really good. So I was saying that I thought originally I thought Warlock would be worse this meta because you lose so much with Mean Streets leaving, because we're losing Abyssal, you're losing Fellfire, you're losing Blast Crystal, but a lot of good cards coming too. No, 3 good cards. All right, Final Gasp. 1 mana Shadow Spell. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If it dies, summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. Because this card is busted. No, it's not a 4. It's higher than a 4. It's either a 4.5 or a 5. This card is insane. Because, like, okay, here's the thing about this card. Like, oftentimes, we've had cards in the past where it does something kind of like this, but you can't kill a minion with it, right? So isn't that how Blood to Ichor was? And like Improve Morale, kind of similar thing, where like you kind of want to use it to ping something off, but then you know you can't, because then you don't get the effect. But here you get the effect. So it's going to be better than Aug Merchant because it's a 2/2 most of the time. right? Like a 2/2 compared to a 2/1, and you get a random bonus effect. So you could theoretically play this, ping off a minion and get a mini bot, or get a poisonous minion, or ping it and get a rush minion, right? Like, it's pretty insane. So I don't know, guys. I actually think this is a 5 too. I really do. I think this card for arena, like especially if the meta's kind of fast, cards like this are going to be great. So I'm gonna go with a 5. Okay, so I think people are talking about 2/1 versus 2/2, but you get a as well, right? That for me is a huge deal, because the high rolls from the adventurer are gonna matter too, right? So I think this card's really busted. Okay, and another really good Warlock spell. Unstable Shadow Blast. 2 mana, deal 6 damage. 2 mana shadow spell, deal 6 damage to a minion. Excess damage hits your hero. Alright, so what I will say about this card is it's a little weird in the early game. Alright, because if you want to use it to kill like a 3/2 or 2/3 or whatever, you're going to take 3 or 4 and it doesn't feel great. Unless, like I mentioned earlier, you have spell stones, and then it's kind of a benefit, right? So yeah, I think with all these cards, spell stone's going to be great. And you know, this card's going to be best in the mid game, where you can, let's say turn 6, you use this to kill their 4 or 5 drop and drop your own 4 drop. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go, I feel like, dude, is this also a 5? I kind of want to say this one's a 4.5. But I could be wrong. It could also be a 5. Yeah, it's great. It gets 3 6s. It's a really, really, really good card. You know, you're not going to always have Spellstone, so it's like, you know, there is a real downside to it. But overall really nutty. I think, should we just go 555 for the Warlock cards across the board? Insane. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. 3 5s. Boom. We did it. You can't do that, Dreads. That's insane. They're all from the same class. I just did it. Don't tell me how to live my life. Okay, moving on. All right, on to Warrior. Kresh, Lord of Turtling. So this is a legendary. 6 mana, 3/9. Beast tag. Frenzy, gain 8 armor. Death Rattle, equip a 2/5 turtle spike. So I always say this with legendaries, you're not going to see it a whole lot, because it's legendary. So, but I think this card is good. 3/9 isn't the best stat line. It's not going to kill a whole lot of things, right? If you think about like Ancient of Blossoms is a 3/8 taunt, but 8 armor is a lot. It's a lot of health, and a 2/5 turtle spike. Wait, so that means 2 attack, 5 durability? It's kind of that's not great, right? Because it takes up your weapon slot, and 2 damage at that stage of the game is kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be a lot better as a 5 too. It would. I mean, I still think it's above average card. Maybe like a 4. It's like 4. I think it's like 4 or 4.5. I'm gonna go with a 4. I think a 3/9 is kind of 8 health though, man, that's a lot. That is a lot of health. I mean, you're almost always gonna get that effect unless it gets hard removed, right? I'll stick with 4. I'll stick with a 4. I could be wrong on this. I think it's between a 4 and a 4.5. All right. Also, it dies to... Hold on. Wait for it. Dies to against all odds. Literally unplayable. Unpickable. Unplayable. I'm kidding. Okay. Whetstone Hatchet. Whetstone? Whitstone? I'm gonna go with Whetstone. Hatchet. 1 mana, 1/4 weapon. After your hero attacks, give a minion in your hand +1 attack. I want to be a little careful about this card because I actually rated what was that baton card, the Menagerie baton card, pretty high, and it ended up being garbage. So I was pretty wrong on that one. And the reason is because, again, it takes up your weapon slot for multiple turns. But this card is 1 mana cheaper, and even if you only get like 1 or 2 swings out of it, it's still pretty good. Like, you can throw it away, right? Kind of similar to Light's Justice. Like, if you want to play a true Silver and Paladin, you can just kind of toss it away at a certain point. So I think it's pretty good. I don't know how much the attack matters. If it was health, it would be busted, but 3.5? My first thought is a 3.5 here. Not because the rate the card here says 3.5, by the way. I'm thinking for myself here, all right? I'm thinking for myself. You guys think it's a 4? Do we let chat sway us to a 4? Do we do it? Do we? Interactive card stream? Interactive? Do we? Of course we do. We're a team here. We're a damn team. It's between 3.5 and 4, okay? We'll go with 4, because we're a team. All right. And those of you that didn't want a 4, what about curving into this? Huh, chat? You ever think about that? Huh? Man at Arms. 2 mana, 2/3. Battle Cry. If you have a weapon equipped, gain +1/+1. Boom. Play that weapon into a 2 mana, 3/4. Boom, baby. GG. Out of my game. It's good. It's really good, right? Like that 3/2 that buffs your hand is good, too, right? I'd say it's about similar to that card. Do you guys agree with that? I forget the name of it. You know the one I'm talking about, chat? You guys are better with names than me. The 2 mana 3/2 that buffs something in your hand +1/+1. That card you pretty much always get a buff, but it doesn't buff immediately. So, yeah, stagehand. Yeah. 4? 4 is my first thought. Because it's only, the stat game is only going to be real relevant in the early game, in my opinion. So, I you know, later on, I don't know. I kind of like the, I think 4 is fair. Yeah, after you swing, but only if you buff this one, right? So, like, sure, you could swing, then play it, but the buff doesn't always hit here. It's good, though. It's very good. All right. And now, on to the neutral. Boom, we're almost done, chat. The mini-set reviews take way less time. On to the neutrals. Mutinous the Devourer. 7 mana, 4/4 Murloc. Battle Cry. Eat a minion in your opponent's hand and gain its stats. So, one thing to note about this card is when you eat it, it's just gone. It's like poof. Poof. It can't be silenced or brought back. It's gone. So, steal a card from your opponent's hand. Well, steal a minion from your opponent's hand and gain its stats. And the thing about it is if you play it later, you know, it has to come down turn 7 or later. There's a good chance your opponent's gonna have big minions in hand. This thing's gonna be so triggering when it hits your big minion. Yeah, Protodrake or whatever, Violet Worm or whatever. Yeah, it's very, very good. Is it a 5? It is kind of expensive, and you could low roll with it, right? Like, even if there's big cards in your opponent's hand, they could also have a 2-drop. And if you play this and eat a 2/3, that's pretty shitty, right? Like, then you play a 7 mana 6/7. Actually, it's not even that bad in the low cost, right? Like, even if you had like a 2-drop, 7 mana 6/7 to remove a card from your opponent's hand isn't the worst. Don't you dare rate this higher than Party Up. This card's definitely better than Party Up. It's not close. This is 100% better than Party Up. 100%. And a lot of undersaid stuff means you're removing a battle cry. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go 4.5. I don't think it's quite a 5, but I'm gonna go 4.5. Okay, Slam Dunk 5. So here's the problem, guys. Like, when you talk about eating a 2 or 3 drop, like for 7 mana, it's only okay. I feel like a 5 needs to be consistently busted, and I wouldn't say this card is consistent, but I like 4.5. All right, what's next? Another legendary, Arch Druid Gnarlex. 3 mana, 3/3. Dormant for 2 turns. While dormant, add a dream card to your hand at the end of your turn. Does it show them down here? Oh, just have them. Nice, sweet. This website's great. So you can get Nightmare, Dream, Laughing Sister. If you're Dreads, it's always Laughing Sister. Ysera Awakens or Emerald Drake. Can I just tell you guys how much I hate this card? Like, I hate it. It's not, again, legendary won't be that common, but I hate it. Like, why do I need to play around them getting Ysera Awakens, like, on turn 3? And they can play it on, what, turn 5? No, they can play it immediately. It goes into their hand. Yeah, you don't have to wait till to awaken to play it. Like, it's... Oh, man. And all of them are pretty good. So, this card... This has got to be a 5, right? Like, sure, you could fall a little bit behind, but 2 chances at Awakens? It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, even Laughing Sister is a 2-mana 3/5. I think it's got to be a 5. Yep, insane. Okay. What's next? Selfless Sidekick. 7 mana, 6/6. Battlecry, equip a random weapon from your deck. So cards like this are pretty hard to give an overall rating for, because, like, if you don't have weapons, it's obviously awful. It doesn't even have taunt. So, like, overall, this card's terrible. Like a 1.5, the 0.5 being, it gets bumped up for the weapon classes. So, I mean, I think 1.5 is fine as like an overall score. I do want to talk about it in like Warrior. In Warrior, I don't think this card's bad, because most of the weapons, are going to be at least solid. Outrider's Axe, play this, get Outrider's Axe or a Gorehowl or a the 4/4 cleave weapon, etc., etc. So in Warrior, I'd say this card's what, like maybe a 3.5 or 4 or something. Yeah. Overall, I think it's pretty weak. Yeah. I think Warrior's the only class where I'd really consider it. Like Rogue, you don't get enough weapons, do you? Druid, I mean, okay, in Hunter maybe, right? 7 mana 6/6. Equip a poisonous weapon. Pow. Paladin. Oh, okay, wait, what weapons do we get back for Paladin? I mean, you get like muster for... Wait, can you drop... Oh, that's a spell. Coghammer? We get Silver Sword back? No, we don't. I don't think so. I was looking through the cards. I don't think we do. You do get Valinir back, but good luck with that one. All right. Yeah, the Divine Shield weapon. Anyhow, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I think overall 1.5. It does get a big bump into Warrior and a little bump maybe in some other weapon classes, right? Okay. All right. Devouring Ectoplasm. 3 mana 3/2. Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 adventure with a random bonus effect. This card is really good. Really, really good. It's just going to be a great arena neutral. I was trying to remember the name of the card. It was from Rosticon's Rumble. It was a 4-mana 3/2, and then when it died, it summoned another 3/2. Do you guys remember the card I'm talking about? I don't actually remember the name of it, but it's basically that card, but on 3 mana. And that card wasn't terrible. So 1 mana less, it's going to be really busted. Yeah, Rumble Tusk something. Rumble Tusk Shaker. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, and then the second part was Breaker. Yeah, so I think this card's really good. I don't know if I'd say a 5, but I'd say like a 4.5 is probably fair for this card. And I can show you guys, yeah, once again, the different types. So, you know, you play a 3/2 and then you get a mini bot or you get a poison. I think this card is going to be frustrating because you probably won't want to kill it in like the mid to late game unless you have a way to deal with the worst case scenario. Like, I think you're going to basically have to assume, okay, like, how bad is it if they get poison? Basically, poison's like the really scary one. Divine Shield's good. Stealth or Lifesteal could be annoying. So, anyhow, we already went through them. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but it's really good. Easy 4.5. Man, there are so many good 3-drops now. You got this. You've got Sunwell Initiate. You've got Hog. Those are like you know, for neutral cards. What are the other neutral cards that are really going to be really good 3-drops? Those are the 3 main ones, right? For neutral cards. We get Ogre Brood back, which I think isn't bad, right? Oh, we get the 3-mana 4/4 back. Yeah, Scorpion. Yeah, Scorpion's a bit of a different card, but yeah, still busted, right? So anyhow, very good card. All right. And finally, Basilisk. Yeah, Basilisk 2. Yeah, there's so many good cards right now. So many good 3s. So I think what it means is you probably won't need to focus on getting 3s as much in this meta. Even less, right? Like right now, they're important, but you get a lot of them. But I think in the next meta, you're gonna get tons of them. All right, Meeting Stone. 1 mana, 0/2. At the end of your turn, add a 2/2 adventure with a random bonus effect to your hand. I don't think this card is that great. As much as I like the other adventurer cards, I actually don't think this card is very good. Because the thing is, it adds it to your hand, and then you have to pay 2 mana for it. And paying 2 mana for the adventurer cards is not great, right? So, and even if you can't kill it and like leave it up, isn't that big of a deal? Like, oh no, my opponent's gonna play turn 4 2 2/2s, and you know, maybe they high roll and have a Divine Shield on there. I just don't think it's that good. They cost 2. They're I mean, it's here. They cost 2. Yeah, I mean, it does fill out your core curve a little bit, but like lackeys were just so much better at that type of a thing. And obviously lackeys are busted, but what do I think this card is? A 3? It's not bad, right? I feel like it's like okay, maybe 2.5. I feel like 2.5 is more appropriate. Let's go with 2.5. Seems fair. Yeah, I mean, these adventurers, they just don't have the, you know, they don't have the Draconic Lackey or Spell Lackey high roll potential. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Okay, all right. So, what do you guys think overall? Any overall thoughts about the cards? My overall thought about today, we got a bunch of cards revealed today, is that a lot of the cards are good arena cards. The first cards they revealed, like the Druid cards, I was like, because you know, these cards aren't really arena cards. I was like, this is going to be kind of, you know, kind of whatever for arena. But I think a lot of the cards are pretty damn good in arena. Maybe not these Mage ones, but you know, at least like, as much as I talk smack about Party Up, I don't think it's a bad card, right? I said it was above average. So, you know, there's a lot of good cards if you just look through them. There's a few Keck W's like the Savory Deviant Delight. How much does it change the meta? Let's assume that Blizzard doesn't do any micro adjusts. No micro adjustments. How much does it change the meta? Is Druid still like busted? I mean, these cards do like very little for Druid, right? And we do get some of the good tempo cards from GVG back. Obviously, overall the cards are weaker than the current ones, but I think Paladin is probably the biggest winner with the things they get back and with the new cards they get. I like the rogue cards as well, though. Shaman's not bad. Oh wait, Warlock is the biggest winner. I forgot about Warlock. My bad. Warlock is definitely the biggest winner from these cards, I would say. And I think Paladin gets better too. I hope it's a different meta. I really do. I hope it's enough to like to shake things up, because I'm a little hesitant, because there have been the past times we had a mini set. I think the last time it was like it didn't feel that different because you didn't draft that many of the new cards, and I don't think we'll get an offering bonus like but we didn't have one last time. So how often will you be offered the cards? I'm not really sure, but hopefully with the little mini rotation, it's enough to shake it up. Last time there was no rotation. No, they had a rotation last time. Last mini set. They did. Lackey's leaving will be huge. That will, yeah, that is a big change. For sure. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Bam. Okay, was that